What's going on, my friends? Welcome back to the McCarter Leadership Institute podcast, where we keep it short, real, and rooted in growth. Today's message is for anybody who's been through something heavy, something disappointing, something you didn't deserve, and yet somehow you're still here. Let me say this clearly from the start. What was meant to break you often becomes the very moment that reveals who you really are. Now, pain has a way of pulling strength out of you that comfort never will. And I don't know who needs this today, but hear me clearly. The betrayal, the mistreatment, the disrespect, the people who didn't choose you, the ones who underestimated you, they didn't stop your story. They sharpened it. Now, here's what most people don't tell you. Pain doesn't just hurt, it educates. It teaches you boundaries you never needed before. It forces clarity where there used to be confusion. It shows you who's safe and who's not. And if you're honest, the version of you before the pain was more trusting, more hopeful, sometimes more exposed. But the version of you after the pain, that version is aware. You learned self-worth the hard way. You learned emotional resilience, the kind no one can take from you again. And let me be clear, that didn't make you cold. It made you wise. They thought they were breaking you, but they were shaping someone tougher, someone calmer, someone no longer desperate for approval. Now, this is where leadership comes in because some leaders, they read numbers, but great leaders read people. And when you've been through pain, real pain, you start noticing things others miss. You catch the tension behind a smile. You hear the silence that signals strain. You feel the energy shift when something isn't right. Not because you're soft, but because empathy is psychological awareness. You understand what sits beneath behavior, beneath performance, beneath words. And too many leaders, they chase KPIs, key performance indicators, while forgetting the humans carrying them. They master systems, but miss signals. They manage output, but ignore emotional load. But pain taught you something different. It taught you that people don't break because of work. They break because of unseen pressure. Real strength doesn't announce itself. It shows up quietly. It notices early signs before damage happens. It checks in before pressure becomes harm. See, real strength, it asks before it judges because hesitation isn't always resistance. Sometimes it's overwhelm. Real strength protects dignity. Feedback stays direct, never demeaning, because growth requires psychological safety. Real strength slows down when people struggle because urgency is a tool, it's not a value. See, real strength normalizes honesty. No, I'm not okay today. I don't feel good today because safe, those are words that can become safe to say in that environment. And real strength stays kind under pressure because stress doesn't reveal weakness, it reveals maturity. Now that's leadership. And if you've been through pain, you didn't just survive it, you were trained by it. Now here's the part they didn't expect. You stopped chasing validation from people who couldn't even handle your power. You stopped explaining yourself to people committed to misunderstanding you. You started trusting yourself again. And now your peace is louder than your opinions. Your clarity is louder than their actions. Your growth is louder than their past. The proof that you won isn't revenge. It isn't success. It isn't proving anything. The proof is this: you can walk away without anger, without fear, without needing closure, because you outgrew what hurt you. And that's power they can't touch. Listen, what was meant to break you became your turning point. So stand tall today. You survived what someone else couldn't even imagine, and you came out wiser, steadier, and stronger. If this message hit home, share it with someone who needs it. And if you're a leader carrying more than people, realize if you want deeper coaching tools and support, visit the McCarterLeadershipInstitute.com/home, because leadership isn't about pretending you're fine. It's about becoming grounded enough to help others stand too. You're growing, you're healing, and you're becoming the version of yourself you always needed. I'll see you in the next episode.